What's up, y'all? Now that I'm in Master Rank officially and on ladder, I am actually deciding to have fun instead of just try-harding to get like top 10. Because for me, I don't think I need that much MR, and also you get like 7 points for every dub right around, and so that means I would have to play a lot of games not stop and win a good percentage of them to increase up on the ladder. So I'm just taking it easy and playing Mitsurugi Yummy, because not only does this deck not get any hits on the previous ban list. By the way, if you like this content, please go ahead and check out the ban list video that I made for Master Duel, where I discuss in depth about how good the ban list is, and everything in between, what decks are going to be solid, etc. Not too much of a in-depth tier, of course, discussion, but a discussion overall about just the good things about it. So now from here, this is the list that I am playing as we speak for Mitsurugi Yummy. One can argue that this list could be better because I should high-key be playing Red Reboot. The reason being is that the Dracotel matchup is tough, especially going second. So the Red Reboot can immediately nullify not only just cards like the Dracotel traps, but also things like Imperm, the opponent's own Purification, and more. So this is the approach that I am taking at the moment. Of course, modifications can be done here and there, but I feel like the extra deck is damn near perfect. I want to find space for a zombie vampire, but I feel like I don't need it, just because, Camellia is just so strong sometimes and ends up doing the job well done for the most part. So I want to go over a few duels and just talk about how well they have gone so far. Now, in this replay, I am playing against, I believe, a mirror match, but at the very least, I know I'm playing against Yummy, so not a 1-to-1, but I have Ash, I have Fua, right? If the opponent wants to continue, he's gonna have to at least give me one draw so that he can set up for the next turn. And if you see, his hand, he does end up having a really good hand into an Ash Blossom on the Cup C. Although if I was the opponent, I wouldn't have activated the Cup C effect on summon. I would have just gone Snatchy first to place a field spell and then activate the Cup C just in case you get hit with an Imperm or Veiler. But I do feel like those hand traps are a little less played at the moment, so I can understand why you just raw dog it. But he decides to give me one draw, which is just getting me the Cup C, which is good, because the Cup C is going to be 100% necessary for me to be able to even try to play. Because Cup C alone is at least two names. You get the Cup C summon. If they out it, you can go ahead and activate the surprise, special summon it back, and then they have to like respond to it again. So it puts in a lot of work, right? So anyways, here he summons Lollipop from his hand and then sets a card and passes here after shuffling back the Ash Blossom, which it's kind of weird. So a lot of Yummy players, especially on Master Duel, I feel like don't understand that there are just certain cards that you do and do not want to shuffle back in general. And I feel like Ash Blossom in this specific case would also be really good for me to draw, because if he goes for the Cup C search, I can Ash and then he can't, continue getting any follow-up. And if my hand is really good, like it is here, I'll be able to play into the board and not have any issues whatsoever. So, in the draw phase, unfortunately, my toggle, I thought I had it on, but it didn't. So I didn't prayers at the start. So I had to be in the standby phase instead of in the draw phase, which puts me at risk of droll. But luckily, the opponent didn't have it. From here, I go Habakiri, and he chains a Snatchy, and I'm able to chain the Maxi because that's what I drew for turn. And you'll see that this match I basically win because of the Maxi. Was it 100% necessary? No. I do think that I had enough gas that I would have won without it, but the Maxi does draw me into more, draws me into actually really good cards now that I think about it. You'll see here what I mean in just a second. So he goes Chainlink 2, right? Yeah. So I go Chainlink 1, Saji to search. He goes Chainlink 2 Cupsy to search himself. I chained the Fuelos Chainlink 3 because that would be like the only time that I could, and probably the best time rather, for me to do so. And then he chains to go ahead and summon back the Lollipo and the Snatchy here. So he's going to go ahead and be locked now, not locked, but have the Fuelos Floodgate on my turn. I draw into the Cookie Yummy here. Nice. So this gives me an additional body to play with. And then he adds Marshmallow, Cookie, and discards the Cookie so that when he goes for a Synchro Summon and then, pay cost to summon the Cookie back, he gets a Monster Pop. And I resolve Saji, which gets me the Ritual. So here, now on summon, he's going to go ahead and place a Croaky Field Spell, which this solidifies to me that he is playing Pure, because Mitsuyumi should not be playing a Croaky, at least ideally. But then he also chains 2 to Synchro Summon here, which is... I get why he does it. It's so that, he has the interruption set up here with the Snatchy Cookie, right? So it makes sense. A Croaky is placed, and now I'm going to go ahead and Mitsurugi Ritual. I could have gone ahead and Talents to look at the hand, but I want to use Talents to steal a monster. So if I get nibbed, this is like my backup here. So he goes ahead, chains Lollipo, and then I go ahead and resolve the Ritual after he summons this out to summon the Murakumo from the deck. From here, I do go Murakumo Chainlink 2. So Habikiri Chainlink 1 to search, which would be the mirror. Chainlink 2 Murakumo to blow up the field. I understand that he would get a monster back with the Akroki, but I pay no mind. Then he goes Cookie, Chainlink 3, targeting the Murakumo to pop. I go ahead and, I'm going to use this effect because I can't dodge, unfortunately. And then he goes Chainlink 5, Imperm, to negate the Murakumo, which not only stops the negate and discard, but also the field wipe. So that's fine. Murakumo, the Mitsurugi cards here at this point have done their job. Now from here I go Talents to take, which is going to be the Snatchy, and if he goes for a Synchro here, then I just take Synchro, and then I can link off with it, and then the Cupsy and the Cookie are going to be able to be special summoned with no issues whatsoever. So from here, special summon Cupsy, and he scoops it up. So yeah, Maxi did put in a lot of work there. Now there's one thing about this deck is that it plays really well into hand traps when you have hands like these. Now ideally I should have used prayers on the draw phase to search for Habakiri and look for an Ash or a Bell, but I just figured with this hand I think I'll be fine no matter what. So Snatchy goes ahead and places the Field Spell. Field Spell effect to special summon the Lollipo, and he bells, but that's okay because I hard drew my one of Surprise. Gotta love to see it. So I go ahead and use it, of course. Surprise is going to bring back the Lollipo, which then allows me to go into the Cupsy Yummy Way. Cupsy Yummy Way is going to attempt to search, and he goes ahead and Ash Blossoms the effect. And I decide, you know what, I'll go ahead and special summon back, might as well. And from here, I believe I go ahead and activate the pre-prep after so that I can set up my Mitsurugi plays, because even though he Ash Belled me here, I'm still in a good position to win, and the end board for the Cupsy Yummy, the Yummy Mitsurugi deck is just insane. So Habikiri effect to summon is going to summon out the Saji, and then Saji is going to get tributed so that I can add the Ritual here. Ritual will then use its effect to Ritual summon the Murakumo from the deck, and since I already have Mirror, the Habikiri is going to go ahead and grab me the Trap card. From here, I go ahead and Mitsurugi Mirror to Ritual summon the Habikiri from the graveyard, and from here, the Murakumo will summon itself, adding a copy of the Habikiri, and then placing itself onto the field. From here, I do go Lollipo, and Lollipo will use its effect to summon back the 2 bodies that I used for it, so that I can go for Sprite Elf plays. From here, if he uses like a Nibiru, I have the Murakumo effect activation that can force him to discard. If he decides to keep the Nibiru, then I discard a random card from hand, and of course that's going to make me feel good. But he does not have Nib, so I go for a Sprite Elf Elf effect to go ahead and summon out the Lollipo, and from here I can make a Baron de Fleur. Baron is obviously key to my success in this game, and then I link off the Lollipo and the Mirakumo to go for the IP Masquerena. So now next turn I have a Sprite Elf, which can go ahead and bring back the Lollipo, which can then bring out Lollipo and Snatchy, which can then allow me to go to Cupsy, get 2 searches, and then be able to continue the game from there. I also have an Omni Negate in Baron, an Omni Negate in Great Purification. I have IP into SP. I have Prayers, which can summon back the Mirakumo to set up the negate. And then, of course, this is a field wipe and another quote-unquote Omni Negate. Plus, I have Max C, so it's like virtually impossible for me to lose here with my opponent having 4 cards. So, what am I playing against? Blue Eyes. And I'm not worried about Blue Eyes. So on the activation of Ether Barrel, I go Elf to summon back Lollipo, and of course I have to negate that here. So I go Baron de Fleur, and he didn't have any other responses, so this is when I go Mitsurugi Prayers to activate the effect to summon and blow up what he would normally have on field so that he can't go for the Link 1. And I think he ends up scooping up from here once the chains resolve. Yeah, not much that you can do there. This deck is just absolutely broken whenever it gets to make an end board. And now this is the one that matters the most. Normal summon Cookie here to go ahead and go for the Yummy Snatchy, and I don't think my opponent has any hand traps, so I'm going for the best end board that I can possibly make. You guys can, of course, coach me a little bit in the comments if I end up messing it up a little bit, but I am going to do what I believe is going to get me the best success. So I add Lollipo and Marshmallow, and I discard the Marshmallow. Then I go Link for the Gravity Controller. From here, effect to summon back the Cupsy will be used so that I can go for the Lollipo. Now I'm saving this Lollipo in hand in case I have to get hit with an Nibiru, because then I could have like surprise, summon out the Snatchy, Lollipo summon itself, and then continue from there, right? So I'm always keeping my plays as open as possible. Now from here, I go ahead and summon out the Cookie plus the Cupsy, and then I go for the Samsara Cat. Samsara Cat's going to be synced with the Lollipo here to go ahead and make a Herald of the Arc Light. And then from here, I do go for a Sprite Elf, I believe. Yeah. From here, Herald of the Arc Light is going to grab me the Habakiri, and I'm gonna go and attempt to utilize the Habakiri effect to go for my Mitsurugi plays at this point, which nets me Saji into the Ritual, activate the effect to Ritual summon the Mirakumo. From here, Habakiri is going to search me the Mirror, and then Mirror to Ritual summon. You know how it goes. Ritual summon Habakiri from the graveyard, then activate the Mirakumo to search for the Prayers and summon itself. And then from here, I'm able to use Sprite Elf to go ahead and make a Baron by utilizing the Cupsy. Now, I'm going to summon this under the Sprite Elf so that I cannot get, like, Impermed, which is going to be a little relevant, but from here, Samsara Cat summon itself by putting back the Herald, Yummy Surprise to summon out the Marshmallow, Marshmallow effect to add the Yummy Surprise, make a Herald, so now I have a pseudo Macrocosmos and another Omni Negate, and if we evaluate the board, I have Macrocosmos plus Omni. This is an Omni. This is going to be able to summon back out a Cupsy or a Lollipo so that I can go ahead and get some, yummy interruptions. And I have a lot going for me. I have a Cupsy draw, Cookie Pop, Lollipo banish, follow up with the Marshmallow. I have Mirakumo negate or discard. I have Mirakumo field wipe. I have Great Purification negate. I have Yummy Surprise to summon out for follow up. I have Max C. So I mean, I am in there, right? If there's one thing, decks with a lot of engine can certainly play through the board, but oftentimes they are not going to win whatsoever. So I'm gonna go ahead and let's see what he has. So he starts with the Ritual, and I go ahead and negate with Baron. Then I chain the Sprite Elf so that I can go ahead and summon out a level 2 Synchro, and I choose to go for the Lollipo. So now that this is negated, he's going to go ahead and normal summon Ice Rise Zeal, which unfortunately I will go ahead and stop with Herald of the Arclight and negate it. If he has called by, I'm gonna just have the Purification, but he does not, so it gets negated and destroyed. So this shows me that he's playing Mitsurugi Rise Zeal. Now from here, Herald is going to search me for a copy of the Habakiri, and then he goes for a Habakiri of his own. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the Murakumo. Murakumo is going to not be stopped. He's going to discard the Habakiri itself to grab the Kusanagi and attribute. Kusanagi, add back the trap card, and I go ahead Lollipo to special summon back out from the graveyard. This is going to summon out the Cupsy plus the Cupsy, and now from here I'm going to go ahead and Cupsy draw just to see if I can draw an Ash Blossom or something. From here he goes Mitsurugi Ritual. I go ahead trap card to negate, but he does have cross out and he didn't draw the one of, so my Great Purification will be stopped, but that's okay, because at this point, since I know his ritual is going to resolve, I'm going to bring out Cupsy and Lollipo. So I could go ahead and pop the Murakumo and chain block it with the Lollipo so that he doesn't force me into a discard situation. From here, he's turn player, so he's going to do his triggers first. As you can see, the order. And then I go 4 Cookie, 5 Lollipo, and then I go 6 Mirror just so that I can, access it later on. Now the chains resolve. I'm going to... What did I banish? Habakiri? Okay, yeah. I could have banished Kusanagi instead, though, low-key. From here, pop the Murakumo. Murakumo wipes my board. And, I mean, again, decks with a lot of engines and, again, decks with Murakumo are going to be able to break something like this easy peasy. But look at all the follow-up I have. So, now I have Lollipo in my hand. How did I get access to this Lollipo? Oh, I drew it off the Cupsy, right? I guess in this situation, if you are playing this deck, you should just access a yummy monster anyways, just in case. But I, Surprise had my back, right? So I was going to go ahead and use that no matter what, so that I can access Marshmallow, add back Surprise, and then, get my follow-up that way. Anyways, he adds the prayers, and then he is going to utilize it to go ahead and summon back out the Murakumo by tributing the Habakiri, and this is when I choose to use my Maxi. He doesn't have an Ash Blossom, so this is going to net me a draw, and because the Murakumo would be summoned off the effect of the prayers, he cannot attack directly, but he decides not to summon, so I go ahead and phase Yummy Surprise. He goes Bell, that's okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and use prayers to summon out the Murakumo. I think I should have done this in the reverse order, but we live and we learn. So I lose 800, special summon out the Murakumo, and now if he uses this effect, he's basically forced to discard the last card in hand, which ends up being a Habakiri. But yeah, from here I have talents. I have Habakiri, Cookie, all this other good stuff. I am not worried whatsoever. So Lollipo is going to force the Murakumo being banished, or rather put back into the deck, and then he activates Prayers, Chainlink 2, Chainlink 3 Murakumo to attempt to negate, but he discards the Habakiri. So he loses 800, special summons out the Murakumo, and then he is going to Murakumo wipe the board, but I go ahead and chain the Purification to summon out the Habakiri, and he Chainlink 3s the Murakumo to attempt to negate. And the main reason I do this is because I'll be able to summon out Habakiri, tribute the Murakumo, and then Murakumo can go ahead and then summon itself back and add another copy of Prayers from the deck. So I'm always going to be prepared. And then it dodges the blow up effect as well. So I discard the Habakiri to make this ensure it resolves. and then he wipes that. But that's okay, because now I have Mirakumo to go ahead and then special summon back out. And here's the wonderful thing about Camellia. It is essentially Nightmare Phoenix into Nightmare Mermaid. So I go Camellia summon, link off into Kagari, special summon out the Cookie Yummy, or use the field spell, activate the effect Marshmallow, and then yeah, that's game. When played right, I think this deck is truly one of the best decks of the format, if not one of all time. The interruptions are so layered, and in Master Duel, it's even better, right? Because again, you have Baron, you have the Herald, you have Sprite Elf, and I don't know about, like, you know, what Trev has said whenever he regards Elf not being that good in Pure Yummy, and he's probably right. It's probably not necessary on there. I just haven't played Pure Yummy on Master Duel enough, or at all really, to try it out. However, when it comes to Yummy Mitsurugi, I just feel that you need this card 100%, and I think he has acknowledged that. Not to say that he hasn't, right? But like, it's clear that in this version of the deck, Elf just puts in so much work. So if you don't have this card and you're playing Yummy Mitsu, I recommend that you spend the 30 UR points if possible and make it. Other than that, I really do have a lot of fun playing this deck. It is one of the funnest combo decks that I've ever played in my lifetime, and I'm gonna continue exploring other ways to be able to play it to, you know, optimize it, but I may have to increase the deck count for that, because again, I should be playing red reboots and I should probably be playing another copy of Talents, but only time can tell. So yeah, that is everything, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.